there he is.
Hey man,
El
you
Jefe.
see my big giant black sausage?
Yeah, but it's pointing the wrong way. It's pointing towards you. No.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
No! Don't grab it. Oh my god. Oh
This
shit.
this show went south immediately.
It's like the Kermit the Frog. I forget what he's on. He's on. I've never messed with those apps where you can like just go chat with random people, whatever. But like one's like Kermit the Frog, and he's running around, doing his thing, which is kind of funny because there's literally a puppet right here. I mean, the show's gone south when you have puppets on your show. But,
And
but
with you using it as a puppet.
well, it's a Kermit the Frog thing, right? And then he he'll like pull out, he'll just kind of like tilt himself and like pull out like his dong will just be sticking up. And lately, he's been putting a condom on the end of it. But it's a cucumber. It's obviously a cucumber. But
Obviously.
he's like, hey, what's up, ladies?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're
You
welcome.
gonna say hi?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Oh.
That's something we don't do ever. Is say that. Is say like and subscribe.
Yeah, we never do that. Thank you, Jackson. Perfect. I got my snacks. What you'll do is you share your screen, and then you'll go to that video on the channel and play it, and then just kind of narrate over it.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw some of our old training partners in that video.
Yeah, ain't that weird? It's a weird sensation. I'm looking for share screen. Where is that? Oh, there it is. I got it.
It's crazy how, like, I was talking to my coach, and he was talking to me. He's like,
Oh,
six months ago till now, like of the difference there's been, and
right.
man, this was like 7 years ago. You know what I mean? So imagine the difference between that time period.
Right. You can think
Gosh.
back on periods where you feel like you made big jumps and that you were like, that night I was great, and then think that it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You weren't great. You were doing good, you know what I mean? But it's like
I can't
you
watch
now would
old
kill
videos.
you.
I can't watch old videos of myself rolling. I like cringe. I'm like, what the heck?
I can watch mine because I know that even throughout the period where I'm not as good, that I'm still doing the same thing. I'm just not as good at it. So it's the same stuff. Can you see my screen right now?
Hmm? I got you.
Okay.
Well, going sideways with it.
And in reality, we can start the episode really from anywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. We can cut out all those shenanigans and puppets.
Boom. This is it. Wolfpack MMA. Shot from the cage, you can imagine, right?
Yeah, it's by leaned up against that cage, the MMA cage.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I was saying, this dude was a college football player, if you remember.
What was his name? It wasn't his name. Eli Manning.
No, I think it was like Caleb or
Caleb Hasselbeck.
something like that. I don't think he was known in any way. I think he's just a big, strong, young opponent, which every single person will have. I guarantee it. That's the majority of everybody that you'll face. and I wasn't putting like 100% prevention on the guard pass because that would require a little bit of energy. And I knew, I'm not explaining, of course, to Roger, but to the people, I know that I'll use more energy keeping him from passing than if he just passes, and I'll be able to prevent everything with zero energy, whereas that pass prevention was going to take like that much. So I have to burn him and not me at all. I'm kind of using my grip to pull with my elbow to kind of just hang on him so that he's not just pushing into me. He's kind of trying to push up off of me, and he's pulling my body weight around with him. So everything he does, I'm trying to make him use a little bit of energy. It looks like, there's not a whole lot going on. He's trying to do that shoulder of justice. His butt is heavy, so I really could kind of topple him. But I know if I get him um, too excited that he could use all of that energy in the same spot, and it would become an attack, which might require more energy of me. So I'm like trying to be the most stingy, like greedy person ever, and that's it. You'll see a couple of times like I'm digging my elbow on the inside. If I can get back to the guard, or if I can get to a better scenario without using energy, then I'm ready to do that. But I'm not making it any kind of a goal. The goal is to just burn him and not burn me. And this is what it looks like. I'm just he wants to push that arm to the ground. So I'm like making it attractive to want to be pushed down, but then he goes to push it, and then I kind of lay my elbow on the ground, so it won't go anywhere. He just that was a little energy wasted. He's thinking about passing, so I'm gonna make him like grind, use those big, the muscles in the legs are much bigger than anywhere else in the body. So those really use a lot of energy.
Do you know what popped in my head
Yes.
right here in this position, especially when you had the hand hooking that far side knee, the leg? I was like, I was thinking about the feet being changed up, and and the electric chair sweep. Instead of that lockdown being on that side, it's on the inside. It's reverse feet. I was thinking about that, but that's what popped into my head. But I know you're doing something totally different.
And I would not be opposed to doing that, but I would, in my mind, I feel if I underhook that leg, that it'll be he won't be spread enough that he doesn't have a lot of strength. So if he's like really spread out, he doesn't have any strength at all to close his legs back. But if I'm not far enough, he could really crush me with his legs. So I'll use my hand and try to make this sweep like that. But I won't do an underhook because I'm afraid I might get like he might do that kind of lotus position and then just crush me. Plus, he's really driving his hips down, so I can't go back to guard or anything. But I was feeling like I'm using a little bit of energy. I'm like using my hand muscle. My hands getting tired, so I think like I want him up off of his. He's really stretching, so I wanted him on his knees. And the second that he went to his knees, that's when I went back to the guard because at the moment his knees touch the ground, then he's just an object to use to move back to the guard. From the bottom there, we're cooking to like medium rare. But to get back to guard, now we're going to cook them from medium rare to the next one, whatever that is, the next step up. But
That's your
I it
specialty. You love
I,
cooking them well done.
I would, if I don't mind if you just stab the animal and rip chunks of flesh out and throw them in my direction. I'll just like a dog go. "Ah." I
Yeah,
like it that rare.
that's got to
No,
be a
I
new
don't like your
thing.
rare at all.
Yeah, exactly. I know you. You like not a hint of pink.
Nothing, zero. So look at this. He has his elbow in the crook of my underarm, almost. So it's like a real weird, awkward angle to move into an arm lock from there. So I keep trying to straighten my body out so I can manipulate his arm and try to kind of just move it into the right spot and then close that book. Then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try from there, like physically move him into the arm lock and then start working on the arm lock. Now that right here, that's what's happening. But he feels it and he pulls his elbow back and out to the outside. Classic, like you've been watching, you've been paying attention. And then he starts pushing. But I wanted to stay in the guard for a second here. And I'm going to show you there's an error coming up that I make that it does cause this guard pass when I didn't want the guard to be passed. So everything so far has got just been kind of part of the plan. But in a second here, it's like a split second of misfocus. My focus is in one spot and I needed it to be somewhere else. He's really thinking about doing that log splitter or a knee in the butt. What do they call that? The
Oh, oh yeah.
the one, the
I
knee
thought it
in
was
the
a log
butt.
splitter.
That I know the standing variation is the log splitter, and boy is it.
This one is the nutsack splitter.
Yeah, man, and everybody has felt that knee in the butt, man. It's brutal. Your legs are gonna open. There are some people though that will just take the swollen butthole.
That reminds me though, my assignment for this like part of my personal training because I'm trying to initiate entries into a position called J camp is I'm supposed to drop my knee through the middle onto someone's diaphragm, and I feel like
Ooh,
somebody is going to be getting it accidentally knee to the nuts.
yeah, man. I mean, there's no way that I would drill, not even if it was part of the like official thing. If I'm not 100% sure um, that it's going to be safe, or like 90% sure, then I would be very hesitant to do it.
Well, I'm certainly not going to make a lot of friends doing it. That's for sure.
No way. You might break somebody's ribs doing that.
Well, I'm going right for the belly, so not trying to go too high, but I'm thinking it's like right in the vicinity of the huevos is the issue, but it's gonna cause it. It is true that it is going to cause them to want to push the knee, and then it'll leave an opening for me to get a hand or a forearm on that hip, and then turn the corner and get my head on their shoulder to get into that J camp situation. But
You see that it's dependent upon um, that like immediate reaction rather than the technical reaction because kind of rolling away or not contending with the knee as a one-on-one kind of because like you put the knee there and the hands just kind of want to get it out of there, but that's an immediate kind of natural human response. I would feel that rolling away or doing something like that would be the more technical response, which would cause either you to, what would it be? Would it be to do a variation or would it be to abandon to something else?
Well, depending on how the weight is distributed, you either knee slice, or if for some reason like you're sitting back, which you would kind of be towards the direction that you're going to knee slice. So if they tried to roll away, it'd be hard to roll away just because the way the person passing their weight is going to be. But I mean, you could push on the knee, but I mean, you're just going to have somebody's knee in your diaphragm. Like you won't. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to move. Like there's not a lot of options. It's like knee slice or give up that positioning where your hand or forearm goes on the hip.
I'm thinking, so like when where your knee shows up, if it's heavy on the inside, of course I can't roll away.
Right.
But if it's heavy on the inside, then my goal would be to hip escape. And if it's heavy on that side, my goal would be to roll to try to cause a modified mount because that doesn't weigh anything and I can deal with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas the knee on
hip
belly
escape
would be problematic.
Yeah, I'm thinking hip. They're going to try to hip escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the most energy efficient.
Yeah, and then it'll set you right up to be in that situation. Now this is without the gi, because obviously it'd be a different game if they're able to grab a hold of your gi. So I think a lot of these things that we're going over, it would be problematic because you'd have a lot more stuff to worry about, and that's what's nuts. Like I'm, seeing this video with you and the gi, and I've rarely put the gi on these days. It's all like these little, it's all these like little battles, and you're putting your hands and like even for J camp, you're putting your forehead like in this guy's like kind of that little notch in between like by your shoulder, like your collarbone area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who would have thought that was a thing?
No, I know of the thing that you're talking about, but not the technique. But I know the thing. So I'm interested to see where that would go because I can see how it would be effective.
Well, I got a tournament coming up in not this weekend, but next weekend. So we'll see we'll see how it goes with those guys.
The only thing that you need to add, if you have these series of techniques that are no-gi, is include an extra technique, which will be a grip break, and then proceed with the no-gi technique.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too the other day. I was like, okay, if they did grab my collar, if they did grab my sleeve, I'd break that, and then I'd just go. Break it, go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Clear.
If they're grabbing your upper body, then that's an immediate problem. Like, I mean, as you know, the grabbing of the pants and whatnot is a little bit easier to deal with because we kind of naturally just rip our legs out because few people's arms are as strong and hands as your legs as they pull and stomp. So most grips are easily broken. But when they start grabbing your upper body and pulling you down, it's tiring and it's off balancing and it's just a technical problem. But what I'm doing in the video to get back to this is I'm lifting my butt up off the ground so that once again he's carrying my body weight, and I'm also, like I said, extending my body and trying to manipulate his elbow. His leg was sometimes accessible, and anytime somebody is reachable like that, of course if you get a grip on those pants and the opposite arm isn't um, really on top of things, it's easy to sweep somebody right there. And right here, I tried that little tipping, like off balancing sweep. It's easy to hit that if somebody is trying to get up, or like if you just switch positions, they swept you, or they wound up on top. Right before they've really gotten control of you, they're off balance. And that's what I did. I tried that little off balancing sweep, but the dude was like real wide and still had some energy.
He looks fairly
So,
long too. He's fairly tall.
yeah. Yeah, he's tall and he was very stable. And that it doesn't make for like a superhuman, but it does make for a situation where the person is strong enough and big enough and long enough to use that their strength and their size and stamina to just keep things going in their direction, what would appear their direction
It looked like he had a
anyway.
hand on your knee while he was passing. He was like pushing your knee south as he rounded the corner.
Yeah, this was the mistake. Can we see that again by chance?
You got like shin to hip, and he's pushing your leg as he's kind of sliding through.
He had an underhook was the problem, and by the time like I put my foot on the ground, and I was going to do standard regard procedure, but because of the underhook, all he had to do was push his body weight into mine, and my back goes flat.
Mm.
No more guard.
Well, this kind of reminds me of
But
that J Camp situation too. Like some of the similar prerequisites are there for the pass, straight to side
interesting.
control, because you have a hand, that same hand that he pushed down. Your you have your that same hand on that same knee, but he
Ah,
has an underhook instead of you just having your forearm on that far side hip. Just interesting to notice.
I see what you mean. It's very similar setup, I guess, right? The just
Well, he's flattening you out.
Yeah,
If you were,
principle. That's
if
very
you were
similar
shrimping,
principle.
yeah, if you were shrimping away and you had that shin back in the party, and you're creating frames, you wouldn't be able to pass.
Notice for the people watching, notice what I'm doing on the bottom. Almost literally nothing. Every now and then I'll flatten my leg and then just tap his knee with my knee. And if there's space right there, then I'm gonna like put like 10%, 20% into regarding. And if my knee goes in a little bit, then I'm gonna go like 50, 60, just like progressively more effort into the regard. But if I feel any pushback, I'm just gonna kind of go back to cook the dude. I don't wanna I don't wanna go, like um put strength versus strength ever to the test, or physical ability versus physical ability. It might be that I would win one of those little battles, but the energy expenditure would be catastrophic for me. Because if we get tired versus a bigger, stronger person, they could very easily finish you with something that is not good. They could just grab you and finish you because you're dead tired, and you have want out of the fight by that point. So we can never get to that spot in a fight. So
Well,
I'm trying to avoid that at all costs.
he looks a little impatient. Like I'm just by like how much he's moving and like how like tense he must be. Like you can see it.
Oh yeah, and I can feel it. So, can you go back one, just like tap left back? I want to show you as he mounts, I make these geometric positions with my legs that he cannot create hooks with. So watch on the side facing us. He wants this hook right here. So watch what I do. I make it impossible by the shape that I give him. And then on the other side, I'm going to make that leg flat. So now he's lost it for good. Now I'm going to wait till he brings it up. And then I'm going to make the shape on that side too. So no more hook possibility. So now he weighs nothing, right? For the people at home, now our opponent is on top and he has no ability to hold us down. So I'm going to just put my hands on his hips and push off my feet and lift his hips. It's very similar to the thrusting hip escape with the knees open. So that would be the difference. Is this because you have to keep the knees like this, otherwise super hooks go in. There was another little impossible error right there that I just kind of flopped down on my side rather than beautifully rolling, bridging to my knees. But it's like, man, in the chaos, you take what you can get.
Well, I see that
Standard,
knee went straight in. Like it's kind of similar. Like the game plan I'm going for. That knee is just getting into the party quickly, just like that. Yours was instantly there, and of course you did the knee slice.
yes, indeed.
Back it up.
And this is a knee slice, classic knee slice opportunity with us landing the way, with the space that we have here.
Knee straight
Of
in the
course,
party.
as the strongest position, one of the strongest positions that you feel on top in the fight is on top with your knee in the party. That is a freaking strong position,
Oh
man.
yeah.
You can drive the whole thing, right? Like we were doing that one pass down there where you kind of just drive your knee up the middle. Just practicing that over and over and over, you get so accustomed to bringing your knee right up the middle that it happens before you can think about it. So you're like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't thinking knee up the middle, it just happened, thankfully, because I practiced so much.
If he tried to just put his hand on your knee, it's gonna open up your hand positioning on his hip on this side here.
I absolutely,
And then
yeah.
you kind of just hop over to the side, bring your head down to his shoulder, and you're in that J camp scenario. This
I
is a new to
yeah.
me. I'm just excited about this. While I'm chatting about it, I'm not an expert in this type of stuff, but it's it's just fresh because that's what I was working on Thursday.
Oh yeah. Oh, it makes perfect sense.
I mean,
But yeah,
it
that's
works. I mean, I was holding down like some big dudes that are hard to hold down. So I've only been working on it about a week and a half.
have you watched this video yet?
Yeah.
Do I do that technique in this video? Because I feel like I do something very similar.
I mean, this whole setup looks similar because this is basically what I was just telling you about, and that's why I brought it up because we're from standing, um, and they're playing their guard game. My assignment, from my coach is to bring that knee up the middle and put it on the diaphragm and cause them to want to push it away or shrimp, because yours is your. I feel like this direction it would be hard to like imagine him trying to rotate to his left. I think it's going to be hard with your weight on the right side of his body.
Oh yeah, no, he can't go anywhere. And if he started thinking about that, I would just stay here and control because he would be totally wasting his energy. So at this moment, he can't roll away, of
Right.
course. There is an opportunity in the thing, but it would have to be right place, right time. If it was a little bit this way, then it's going to be hip escape. If it's a little bit this way, then we might try to create modified mount or whatnot. But the my first thought would it would be not to push because I know how much trouble that can get me into. But I would say 90% of the people that we will roll with don't. They would grab that thing. I know it for a fact actually. I think I remember doing like these drills at Wolfpack Rockwall billion times, and that everybody, even though we did it and talked about it in class, everybody just instinctively tried to do it. So aside from rolling, it's just like it's believable that everybody would try that to prevent it.
Yeah,
It
and
really sucks. It sucks for people with their weight on your belly. But
yeah,
I'm stapling his thigh to the ground. You know what I mean? Like my goal is a little bit different. I want him to kind of. That's the one time so far that I've presented a little bit of pain to staple that thigh on the ground to get him to give me a little bit of like you just grab the neck a little bit, so you want a little bit of resistance. And now I'm going to cut to the side and start to really cook him. So like let him thrash around and feel a little bit of, oh, I'm really trying to go somewhere and I can't go. That's exhausting. So that's the goal here.
so yeah, you're weighing on him, and then he pretty much just concedes the position. I guess he's blocking the mount right here. He's like, I
And
don't
he
want him to
thinks so.
progress. I mean, yeah, that's what the idea is. Um, his
I
he
am going to
doesn't know
pull us
exactly
back
what to
onto the
do.
screen.
Like I think he's like seen some, maybe he saw somebody do something like this, so he's like, I'm gonna kind of throw this up there to slow Joey down here.
Yeah. Like in that, if I wanted to, I would mount. I mean, like 100% fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to mount.
and he's like holding on to your key for dear life.
And I want it like I want as much resistance as I can get. So I feel like now if I give a little bit of space that I can control it. He doesn't have enough strength and speed to just kind of freak out and then wind up on top. Where Brock Lesnar definitely would. So very common for me is to get in this game where the dude on the inside has his elbow and he's kind of feeling like he's safe. But if you create enough like uncomfortable um, situations where he's like stretching and not really able to pull it back down or into a position that is just like it's being forced on them, they feel like free when you give a little bit of space. And I tell him this after the video, after we roll, is that I made it super uncomfortable for that arm, and then I gave him a little opportunity to pull the elbow in. So when he does, I know now here comes the resistance. So I use that to kind of just I get heavy on the shoulder that is lifting because you can't go anywhere without your shoulder. So I'm just pushing off my toes and pushing that shoulder back to the ground, creating these, again, trying to create geometric positions that are defeating to that shoulder being off the ground. And I felt like he had wasted enough energy right there that if I go to my knees and I kind of feel the situation out, if I feel like he's gonna push up, like roll up to his knees, then I'm gonna go back to full control. But if I feel like he's a little bit done, I'm gonna start thinking about the finish, which I already decided from when I passed with that knee split. I was like, I'm gonna finish with a north-south choke. So this is another setup that I do quite often. And I've done this to a lot of people, because what is unexpected from right here is that the person is going to do exactly what I do here. One of the things that makes it dangerous is that for 1 second, you have a hand on one side, and then if you don't get your other hand around their body, for a split second, nobody is holding them down. So if you haven't cooked them properly, I wouldn't recommend doing it because they might run away. But if you're confident in your exhaustion pattern, then there's going to be an opportunity where you can kind of reposition your body. And then you'll notice that I kind of do a little spider walk. It's not that I walk around. I turn my body and then I shuffle my feet like a little spider back. So I never actually turned. I mean, I did. I literally, I guess I turned. I didn't walk my feet around. I turned my entire body and then I walked my feet back. Boom, boom, boom. 2 steps maybe, just to this position where I know, like, okay, this is the next spot where I can keep him down. And it's like we're getting one move closer to check. And he feels that. And then I'm just, at that moment, I felt like he feels the check and he's not resisting. So that means I can finish. I can go ahead and go for the finish because I know he wasn't resisting the check. And this is a variation of the north-south choke that I feel like I might have created. The north-south choke obviously exists. And like passing, like getting to the north-south choke exists too. But I feel like I've never seen this before. What I do here is, I wrap the neck real, like super loose. And the reason is nobody really resists their neck being wrapped super loose. I've wrapped it right here already. I've got one arm on his neck and one preventing his hip from doing anything on this side. So I can lay his shoulder back down and I can keep my arm around his neck. So from that loose arm, as I walk my hips around, now I start to lean my body weight and drop my hips into this side. So the arm is around this side. Now I'm walking, or I get my body on his neck right here and just lean my entire body weight right there. Arm, body weight. Done deal. And he can't roll in either direction because for two main reasons. The neck hug and the body weight mean that we're like in a sturdy base heavy position. So he has no hands to push with. He has no hips to bring into the situation. He has no legs to bring into the situation. It's now body versus neck. Literally body versus neck. Elio Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. So exhaustion, 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 exhaustion. Extreme leverage versus the smallest little position. Like the smallest little weakness. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. It could go unnoticed, Roger. I don't know. I don't. What do you think? Maybe people watch something like this and think like this is just a role where you kind of, you lose the first part, and then at the end you win. That's all I see there.
It seemed like a lost video.
You did lose video.
Man, this show. One of these days we're gonna have like high quality production and like audio and video expert producers.
That day is soon. It's soon to come.
Well, I think we can leave off the video there, and then we go right into the next video, which will be an entirely different video, and I could just quickly edit this one and then get it sent off or uploaded, and so we have like a narrated version of the one that you posted. But let's hang up and then call me right back, and then we'll go into video 2.
Okay, should I take my shirt off?
Yeah, put your panties on. Take your panties off. Either way. All right,
so I'll take my panties off.
Call me right back, and that way we can get.